President Trump is breaking up with New York City, where he was born and raised and rose to fame, and is a real estate titan, now officially declaring himself a resident of Florida, where he has his Mar-a-Lago estate. The president tweeting, "Unfortunately, despite the fact that I pay millions of dollars in city, state, and local taxes each year, I have been treated very badly by the local leaders of both the city and state. Few have been treated worse. I hated having to make this decision, but in the end, it will be best for all concerned." New York's top Democrats applauding the move. Governor Andrew Cuomo tweeting, "Good riddance. It's not like Donald Trump paid taxes here anyway." That was pretty funny. And New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio tweeting, "Don't let the door hit you on the way out or whatever." I'm glad he added that "or whatever." It provided a lot of clarity. When I read this morning, I thought one thing, that I am getting ripped off in New York City. My tax burden is higher than ever before, but, you know, the quality of life is going down and down and down. If I did not work here, I would probably go somewhere else as much as I love New York. Do you think that was the impetus?
Yeah. No, I think I saw a picture the other day. There was some basketball player, I think, who got traded from Florida to California, and the first thing he figures out when he gets there is he's now paying like 13.3% taxes instead of 9%.
I would think his agent had told him that before he made the deal, that the tax burden was going to be different. Do you think this is about I'm being treated badly, or do you think that this is just, you know, good economics?
Or politics, right? I mean,
so how would it be politics?
Well, there were some rumors in the press, some unnamed sources who were saying his political team had advised him it might be helpful for 2020 if he was a Florida resident. I don't know if that's actually true, but that
how would it be helpful? That sounds
because he's not a competitive. In New York, obviously, New York is going to vote for a Democrat in the presidential, but Florida is a swing state, and if he's a resident, maybe he can tip the votes in his favor.
They kind of treated him like a resident last time around, though, didn't they? I mean, that was one of the things.
He put a ring on it.
He did. Yeah, no, I think people may like that. Look, if I were President Trump, paying as much money in taxes as he probably does, and living in New York City where everybody hates me, I would leave too. I mean,
so we should see his tax returns, and we can judge it for ourselves. Then I just came up with the answer.
I think we know what they say.
Oh,
if he's leaving New York City for Florida.
I was in Palm Beach yesterday. It was 85 and sunny.
Yeah.
Between the weather, the taxes,
why does he need a better reason than that?
Yeah,
Florida has some issues too, though, just to be clear.
Well, okay. I don't know.
Every place does.
I'm ready to go, but alas, I love my place on the couch, so I'll be staying here. Thank you to Andrew McCarthy and everybody else on the couch here. We will be back here on the couch at noon Eastern. I will see you at 4 p.m. on Fox Business. Here's Harris.
Now, former White House Russia expert Tim Morrison is defending President Trump's Ukraine call. He did so in closed-door testimony. This is Outnumbered Overtime. I'm Harris Faulkner. Morrison told lawmakers he was not concerned that anything illegal was discussed on that call, but worried perhaps that there could be some political issues. The testimony added new pressure for House Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff, who was pressed about the lack of witnesses overtly claiming that President Trump has committed any crime.
None, to my knowledge, so far has said, and I didn't like it because I knew it was illegal, or I knew it was an abuse of his power. Do you think that hurts you? Because it certainly bolsters the courage of Republicans to say, even Mr. Morrison today, yeah, they all saw it for what it was, but they didn't think it was a crime.
You know, Chris, I can't go into the substance of the testimony. I wouldn't agree with the general characterization you've made of it, but you'll have the opportunity to read the transcripts very soon for yourself.
Meanwhile, Democrats reportedly are fearing they are losing momentum in those closed-door hearings and are ready to move to the public phase, as they said, of the impeachment inquiry. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel is live on Capitol Hill with the latest. Mike.
Harris, good afternoon. With these closed-door depositions, it's very difficult knowing the big picture impact of the witness. Tim Morrison yesterday was a prime example. Fox News has quotes from his opening statement, but the rest of his testimony is unknown. And some Republicans worry the process going forward into the more public phase isn't going to be any better.
If you read the resolution, it allows, first of all, for Adam Schiff to continue going on behind closed doors, building this false narrative where they leak out certain things to try to mislead people. You talk to people that were in the room and you get a completely different response.
But a key Democrat insisted after yesterday's floor vote on a resolution laying out procedures going forward that President Trump and Republicans will be treated fairly.
It is extremely inclusive of Republicans, which the classified setting has been as well. And it ensures that the ranking has the same time as the chairman does, gives them the opportunity to subpoena. And if this does go to Judiciary Committee, the President's counsel is allowed to be present, ask questions, and make closing arguments.
Some Republicans are now arguing that House Intelligence Chair Adam Schiff should be brought into an open hearing to testify under oath about interaction he and his team had with the whistleblower.
When they met, what they talked about, whether they were directed, whether it was coordinated, will tell us whether or not this impeachment effort was orchestrated or organic. And those are material facts, and Adam Schiff is one of the folks that has knowledge of those relevant facts, and we ought to have the opportunity to cross-examine him. Here.
Today, a key progressive said President Trump should blame himself for causing this impeachment probe.
Even the fact that he wants to read the transcript in a fireside chat makes me think he really doesn't understand that, or he is just ignoring that this is absolutely outrageous that he would ask a foreign ally to interfere for his political gain.
More closed-door depositions are expected next week with the hope of open hearings by the end of the month. Harris?
Mike Emanuel, thank you very much. Chris Steyerwalt, Fox News politics editor and co-host of I'll Tell You What podcast. Good to see you today.
Good to see you.
So first of all, I just want to get your reaction to the week that we've had that included a full House vote on impeachment inquiry, not impeachment full. Chairman Nadler might be playing with some words on that one. This is just the investigation. Debbie Dingell of Michigan, a Democrat, also quick to tell you that part.
Sure. And look, when we look back on this 20 years hence, when history looks back on this, this will not be the vote. This was Nancy Pelosi taking temperatures. This was Nancy Pelosi trying to get a little heat off of her members who are under fire for the perception that they're not operating in an above-board fashion. This is Nancy Pelosi sounding the depths here to see what's going on. So this is an incremental step. But we heard from her today. She told Bloomberg, she said, look, we're going to have a vote this month, or we're going to have open hearings starting this month, and we're going to have a vote, she says, by the end of the year.
Okay. And Tim Morrison kind of backing up the president, defending the president, saying he didn't think there was anything illegal on that call with Ukraine's president. He just thought it might be complicating politically. Does this mean that Democrats, as they've been accused of, are running out of options when it comes to people who say that the president committed any crime?
Well, they don't need to show that the president committed a crime. He doesn't have to have violated a specific statute in order for an offense to be impeachable. Impeachable offenses relate to basically the abuse of public office. Their argument is that he abused his position as president in order to try to harm his political opponents. That's enough, so they don't need it to be a specific crime.
Are they even getting that far, is the question.
Yeah, no, I think... Look,
and are they running out of witnesses to say that?
They have plenty of witnesses to say that. Where this thing ends up is the Republicans are going to have to say, yeah, look, what the president did wasn't great. I wish he hadn't have done it, but it's not an impeachable offense. So I'm not voting for his impeachment and I'm not voting for his removal. That's where the Republicans end up on this. Yeah. And they're waiting for the president to get there with them.
Our former guest in the center seat of Outnumbered last hour said the president is freezing his defense on that place by saying that the call was perfect. He's got to leave Republicans a little bit of room to do what you just said. I do want to look at this. A new ABC News Washington Post poll shows 55% of Americans think the president did something wrong. But here's the key. Fewer than half of them believe the president did something seriously wrong. 47% saying he did. So what is in play there?